everyone, welcome to the LARP Tales podcast. My name is Oliver. I am one half of your hosting duo. With me, as always, is my co-host and wife, Robyn. Hey, Robyn.
Hey, Oliver.
And on this episode 99 of LARP Tales, can you believe it? 99. We'll talk about episode 100 today as well, but we are going to be covering the last part of our recap of Empire LARP E2, the spring equinox, the 100th episode. We are going to be doing something special. We're going to do a Q&A. We haven't ironed out the details yet, but keep posted on all our on all our socials and here on YouTube as well for information on what we're going to do for our 100th episode. I think we're even going to be giving away a ticket to Empire LARP for a lucky person, listener, and fan of the channel. The usual housekeeping before we get into the episode, though. If you are watching us on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. Click subscribe if you're new to the channel so you know when new content is released over on To Have and To Roll. If you're listening on an audio platform like Spotify or Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review. That helps people find the content and it makes us feel good when we get 5-star reviews as well. We also have a Patreon if you want to go and support us in that way. You are, of course, under no obligation to do so. And with that all out of the way, let's get into our continuation of our recap of Empire LARP E2. Okay, this is part 3 of our Empire LARP E2 recap. We've covered Friday, we've covered most of Saturday. Last we left off, so on the Friday we had done kind of tried to become general. We had gone on a skirmish to Weirwater. We had done military council stuff on the Saturday. We had taken our characters through the Sentinel Gate to Calavesa to go fight the Jotun. It was a very successful battle. We had gone over our adventures in the tournaments. We got pizza. We did some fighting in the Glory Square. We had a very interesting encounter with the Orc Egregores over in the Orc camp. We saw some fighting pit action as well, and that's the main beats of where we left off. So we left off with us preparing for the party, Robyn.
Yeah, so we were getting all ready for our anniversary party. So this weekend at E2, it fell on our real life anniversary on the Saturday. So we kind of thought that would be quite cute for it to be Daemon and Nymeria as well. They're going to be married around about the same length of time. So it was quite a cute little idea that we kind of sort of loosely suggested, and then because LARP people are wonderful, everyone ran with it and we were able to create something really cool. So we had hired our wise guys and we had an open bar. It was like quite amazing all the things we managed to get together for it. We had Martin Durondal making a load of cocktails for us. So we had lots of cocktails behind the bar that were given out to everyone, and we had lots of bards about to perform. But before all of the party business, we got ready and we decided to do a little flower code thing, just the two of us. So we had our own little role play moment outside the tent where we handed each other our flowers.
Yeah.
Then little Arshan comes running over, being like, I just saw that. That was cute. And then we headed up to the party. And we were wise guys did this thing. So you can hire wise guys, by the way, people. And they said, oh, if you want, we can actually have somebody positioned at the door. We'll close it off to everyone else, move everyone else out as a private party and stuff. Or you can keep it open. It's up to you. But we were both.
Yeah, I said to them, I was like, I don't want to because it's the game's for everyone, you know what I mean? And it wouldn't be in the spirit of the actual what the idea of the party was in any way. I didn't want people to kind of cut. But basically, I said to them, I said basically anyone who comes to the bar and says our names, then they're able to get the the free drink. So the free drink was only for a couple of hours, and that goes
Yeah.
by very quickly,
Oh yeah.
But the cocktails went super fast. That also, like, massive thanks to our house butler as well, who literally footed the bill. So,
Oh yeah, like
that's
he
a good yo
sorted
folk.
everything out for us. It was amazing. And he was just like wandering around as well, just sorting things out while he was
Yeah,
there. Like it was amazing. Yeah, the cocktails that we had were themed. We had the Daemon and the Nymeria. So the Daemon one was a red color with this gold glitter coming through it.
that was good.
Um, it was really good.
Yeah.
I think it was the favorite. It was really good, really like
Mhm.
fruity. The Nymeria was jet black with like glitter going through it and stuff. And it was tequila and it had like charcoal and things in it. So that one was strong. That had a bit of a kick to
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
That's
but
my favorite.
yeah, they went quick because we had. I mean, when it started, we had. Yeah, I mean, I was quite humbled with how many people actually showed up. The entirety of the Reapers showed up. That helped because there's lots of them, so they filled out. They filled out the entire bar. We had performances. So your little birds did a performance, didn't they?
Okay, my advice to people, you need to hear this song. It's called the Naughty Marrow song, and you need to go and hear it. Okay. Head to the house to Covington and ask to hear this song. Make sure you pay well because this song is worth it. It's amazing. And it's performed by a lovely woman there and her two children. And for one of our kids this time, this was her first time like performing in like a busy, crowded like bar where there's lots of like, conversation going on around and stuff like that, rather than like a quiet enclosed space. And she did amazing. So that was so much fun. I got to sit down with our egregore and sit at the table and watch and listen, and that was really nice and have some really nice conversation. Um, and then after a little while, Silgor came in, and Silgor, oh my gosh,
Yeah, so if people remember, people who listen to the podcast, remember we actually had Silgor on the podcast a few episodes previous. Since then, Silgor's music video has come out from the blind eye for the blind eye, which is I think we spoke about it like a couple of episodes ago as well. But this is the best thing about this party that we had. We had our own like recreation of Silgor's music video, basically. So in LARP,
yeah,
yes, Silgor came with the Black Vigil, and did a full set for us, which was amazing.
yeah. Kate came and danced the entire time as well. Absolutely incredible. She basically it was like a recreation, wasn't it, of like the video with the fact that we're all like sitting there having different conversations and stuff, and like Kate is dancing up and down the aisles and on the benches, and Silver's making his way around and playing music, and it was just so good to
It
have
was
everyone there.
it was tough because there was a moment where I'm like, I'm having like conversations, as Sil was playing, and I kind of felt like I felt a bit bad that I wasn't like paying attention to the music, and then there was lots of people. So outside there was like a crowd of people, and I was like, oh, maybe I should go out and mingle. And it was actually like Fark, like Dolly, literally like dropped character, and he was like, no, you're going to like, you are playing a Dornish noble. Enjoy role playing a Dornish noble. If people want to come and speak to you, they need to get their ass over here and come speak to you, don't they? And you're like, yeah, yeah, that's right. So I'm gonna sit here, and I'm going to enjoy my drink, and I'm gonna speak, yeah, speak about crazy things. We had a few. Because I said to people when we were like basically we invited everyone, right?
We invite everyone.
Every time we spoke to someone on the field, we were like, oh, by the way, we're having a party. Um,
I
so
had like a little pile of invites with me. So like as I passed people, I was like, oh here, by the way,
yeah.
sorry.
And I said to people, it's a Dornish anniversary, so please bring feel free to bring drama, like like if there's any kind of drama. Uh,
Oh, people ran with that one.
it wasn't mental, was it? But it like we had a lot of people coming up. We were doing a few deals. There was a few interesting conversations. A few people came up giving us interesting information about certain people. Yeah, there was some juicy things going on with all the frivolities, as kind of we have the amazing music in the background. And like I said, it was like, it's the best part of Empire for me. It's the best part of Anvil. Um, is that, and I'm so glad we recreated that
Yeah.
as an anniversary party. Let's face it. If we had tried to do that out of character, you have a party and go, right, we're going to hire out a tent. We're going to invite a couple of hundred people. We're going to have an open bar. We're going to have music. We're going to get everyone to be in costume. How much money do you think we'd have to sink into that and time? It would have been thousands and thousands.
I was thinking, I was like, it's going to be thousands, isn't it? Like to do something like that. No, it was just wonderful. No, there was so many little like funny moments I like remember. Like Morgan came in with this big snake on her, and she was terrified. And she kind of did this sort of like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna sit here. And we're like, you okay there, Morgan? Because like there's a whole backstory thing here with Daemon and his reptiles and things. And she's like sitting looking terrified. And we're like, oh, can we touch him? I don't know if it likes that. I said I'd hold it for someone.
It's because Morrigan and the Rusty Compass. Which one is it? I can't remember which one is it. Stitch. One of them like quite likes Morrigan, and I think it's mutual. So they were like, oh, come hold a stick. My mind's completely blank. So the Rusty Compass, they're like Veil or Unit. What is it called? It's something to do with serpents, isn't it?
Oh no, I've forgotten as well.
It's the serpent something or other, because that's what they fight under. I don't know whether
because I was fighting. So the skirmish I did, that was led by the one who is the manager of the Rusty Compass. So when I gave him an invitation, he was like, "I'll try and make sure I bring Rusty Compass along with me."
Yeah. Sorry guys, I've completely forgotten your group name. But like it's the serpent. It's the serpent something. Someone put it in the comments.
Yeah, put it in the comments. Tell us.
Yeah. But they were cool because like Belikov couldn't make it. But he sent them in his stead. So he was like, I remember him being like, I saw him like the following day, and he was like, I think the Vershkins I sent were made up for it, and I was like, yeah, they were. They were.
Oh, they were so funny. And we're sitting there chatting, and one of them leans over, and they're like, and they're looking to Damon, and they're like, oh, hello, I would like to give your wife a Varushkin gift outside. Can I give her a Varushkin gift? And Damon's like, have to ask her.
Yeah, I know. Now, if someone were to come up to me as Oliver and ask that, I'd be like, get. But as Daemon, I'm like, Nymeria speaks for herself, I have to ask her. I know it was all in good fun, obviously. But yeah, no, we like talking about gifts. That was the other thing as well, like the fact that we had so many people from other nations there as well. Like we had a massive Marcher contingent, we had a massive Leaguish contingent, a huge Imperial
Orcs, yeah,
contingent there.
Orcs,
it was a real like. I think the phrase I'd used, it was like a testament to Mortaire's loyalty and love. Well, I remember being at the table at the end of the night, and I was like, yeah, we like in character. I was like, yeah, we should be proud. Look at what we've achieved. We had all these, these friendships that have blossomed throughout the, throughout the whole of the camp. For characters that have only been around 3 events at this point, I was quite impressed at how everyone was G'd up to it. And obviously we had our amazing Dornish contingent there as well, our Dornish friends. It was amazing. There was certain groups that we'd asked, and that they had sent at least one person, to represent, which was really cool.
Like that was a wonderful, like just having people. We had quite a few winter markers there as well. By the way, we did. Because like Nymeria made a few like friendships the day before with some winter markers that she hadn't known before, and then like quite a few of them came over, which was really wonderful.
It was good because we had several groups from Wintermark, the Marches, Dawn, obviously the Imperial Orcs, the League, and I kind of but my the way I think about this game, I'm just like, this is telling me that we need more connections in Navarre. Urizen, the Brass Coast, High Guard.
Sitting on my little book, like,
Yeah.
a connection over there, don't I?
Yeah. I mean, if there were people from those nations, but I'm like, oh, we need to get some connections there. But the gifts. So the Silgur and the Black Vigil. When we had Silgur on the podcast, we were talking about the Bregisland Brew. There's a song called the Bregisland Brew. Silgur on the podcast talked about how the inception of it, and it's supposed to be made from like the swamp water of Bregisland. But the Black Vigil brewed us a special Bregisland Brew. It was a bottle of Bregisland Brew, but it was brewed to be red. So we had a super special.
It was so good.
It went like that. I was like, should we save this? I put it on the table. It was just like, gone. But yeah, it was so tasty. But a real special and unique gift. Because the part of me was like, should I try and save? Should I just put this in my tent and like just show it on the podcast, just to be like, look at what we got? But no, it was.
Now we're
good.
drinking that.
No, it was good to drink in the moment because it was great because it was good to be like all bougie. And
it was
be
a talking point as well. Like every
Yeah.
time somebody came over, it was like, oh, this is something special. You will never have this again, And it was like creating that really cool role play moment.
Yeah.
No, we were like gifted so many things. We were gifted so many like flowers. I had so many things like pinned to me. We had the Bregisland Brew. We had little crochet bees. We had like
Salts.
jars of salt.
Yeah.
Like we had so many things gifted. Oh my gosh.
And there were a few in characters that the Crimson Reaper's gift was interesting. I don't think I'm going to talk about it, but
we cannot talk about the Crimson Reaper's gift.
No. Maybe
it was very good.
Yeah, no, the Crimson Reaper gift was really good. The gift from the Rusty Compass lot was extremely good as well. Like that was that I got to admit, one of the I mean, it's always good when they perform, right? But it's something else when everybody's like in party mode as well. So yeah, we like once Silgur had finished, Rusty Compass goes like, come on, we'll give you the gift, and they basically were doing, they were basically sang for us.
They sang for us. And they also incorporated us into some of their songs as well.
It's one of my favorite gifts was Daemon getting a verse improvised for him for Chop the Wood, which is amazing.
His name is Daemon. He likes to slay them. He likes to slay them like no other could.
He's from Dawn. He likes to, but it's funny because they were like, oh, like, would you like to sing a verse? And I'm like, Daemon does not sing. I'm just like, no. He's like, I'll do one for you. So, but inside I'm like squealing because I'm just like, can't believe Daemon got a verse in Chop the Wood. So. That was definitely a highlight.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was actually there's just so many little moments. Now, the drama around this as well, it was mainly centered around the Red Hands, who basically all came. And I think one of my favorite lines from one of them was like they came up to me, they put their arm around me, and they said, I need to be here because if I stay there, I'm going to kill someone. So I decided to bring us all here to your party. And I was like, great. There's that glory square there. If you want to bring them here, go for it.
Yeah. So
and they were like, no, because we will actually kill them. We're like, okay, maybe not.
So for context, it was the Imperial Orcs Night of Worth, which is a big deal. The fact that there was drama that they came to our party instead of their Night of Worth was a big thing. But basically, there had been some there had been some mistakes on a skirmish, and there had been a lot of Imperial Orc deaths on that skirmish right before our party.
Some very well-known Imperial Orcs.
Yeah,
it was quite like as I was learning more and more, like a character was getting a little bit like, oh my God, like I was getting a bit emotional out of character. I was like, no.
Yeah, and like we said in the last episode, the Crimson Reapers and the Red Hands have been bonded earlier that day. So the Reapers were as outraged as anyone.
Well, yeah, because some of the Reapers, so one of the Reapers in particular was called out because the person that they'd had their fight with in the fighting pits had died. And that was like a huge deal. So it was the drama around this was just like it was beautiful. There was some amazing drama, amazing role play.
Yeah,
The Imperial Orcs always give it their all, but there was just so much. But
yeah.
we were able to all like
Yeah, they basically stopped the
have
music.
fun.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, they
they
did,
stopped the
didn't they?
music and let everybody know. You know, they're like this person has died, and they're like making people say their names. You know what I mean? It's, you know, say their name, say their name.
Oh yes, we did.
Yeah.
We did like a whole thing and
Mm,
everything. Yeah, Silgor stopped playing, so we could all do like a whole like thing for these
yeah.
Imperial
It was
Orcs.
the
Yeah.
perfect type of drama to bring to a, because you can't. Thing is, I would have been disappointed if there was no death at the Dornish party. You know, I was like,
Well, was that enough death for you?
yeah, there was a lot of death. There was a lot of death.
Ugh.
But and also it was quite cool because I felt like it was even more of a bonding moment for all of us that were present. You know, yeah, there was some really cool things going on. Someone had a, I'm not going to tell the story because it's not my story to tell, but it's just an item. But I just want to describe this item, which is really interesting. I'm not going to say who has it or anything. If you're on the Dornish Field, you might find someone who has it. But there is
Yeah.
there is a flower that someone has, and this flower smells of your first love. So people, especially the non-Dornish, were having a great time smelling this flower. I just thought that's a real good roleplay prompt for Dornish people, you know, and everyone coming to Dorne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so good. It got passed around
Mm-hmm.
for people to all smell and
Yeah.
describe different things. And there was some really beautiful, touching bits of role play. There were some
Yeah.
really funny bits of role play around it. I think out of character, like everyone's like, Link's Africa. That was
Africa.
it. Everyone's like, oh, Link's Africa.
Link's Africa. I'm surprised that they did. I think there was talk a lot out of character of just like, yeah, just getting Link's Africa and just spraying it.
Yeah. It's what it's going to smell like.
Yeah, yeah. No, there was some just amazing character interactions at that party. I loved. Yeah, I love my group. You know, I love the fact that we had the family there, but we were all like split off doing other things. Killian at that point was still a marcher.
Yeah, he's still a marcher.
He's still a marcher ghost, which is quite funny. Um, yeah, no, and we ended up staying there obviously stayed there the entire night until closing.
Oh,
Like,
it was like, like when you're in like a club and the lights have come on. That pretty much happened. So we were literally like got to the end of it, and then it's like there's still got a fair group of us there. There's no drink left. The drink's all gone. There is we drank some interesting things at the end of that night because it was a case of like all the alcohol is gone, but we can mix these things together and we think it'll be okay. And we're like, yeah, do it. That's not going to affect us in the morning.
What were we drink? I think we were drinking. I think we were drinking like lemonade and like Southern Comfort or something. So it was something like that, weren't we?
There was something peachy and there was some vodka, I think, and there was some tequila as well. And there was a lot of just mixing it together and just seeing what happened.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, that's the thing. It was 2 hours. You know, we had the we had the open bar. But obviously, then for 4 or 5 hours after that, you know, there was still tons of people in there. So it's
we went until way after time out.
Yeah.
We must have been there. We must have been out till about 3 a.m. I think. We went way after time out.
Yeah, it wasn't crazy, but yeah,
then we went like out of character, and then we ended up chatting out of character for quite a long time. And even then, when we headed back to the tent, we ended up all chatting a bit more. So it must have been round about between 3, 4 in the morning by the time we actually headed in. Yeah. And which seems like, okay, yeah, you had in a crash at that point. But keep in mind, at that point, I've got to take off my ears, my contact lenses, the wig, all the glue.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to admit, it felt like our actual wedding because I got the same feeling. So people who have gone through weddings, you'll know exactly what this is like. So you have all these people that you care about at this, at this party. You cannot spend more than 5 minutes with any of them, basically. So there's so at the end of the night, you're just like, oh, I never got to say goodbye to that person, or say hello to this person, that person, that person. But no, it was fantastic. It was a LARP highlight, 100%. It's up there with, it's probably in the top. It's probably in the top five. Actually, no, it's definitely in
Yeah,
the top five.
definitely in the top
It's
five.
definitely in the top five. It could be in the top three. I think.
There was so many people
Mm,
came and everyone was so wonderful. And yeah, it was such a good atmosphere.
yeah.
Everyone was just like so positive. It was just such a fun atmosphere. Um those who run Wise Guys, they are absolutely awesome and wonderful, and literally just like anything that we asked, they were like, yeah, let's get that, let's do that and everything. So I'm not sure if that's something they want to do more of, like doing like hiring for different like events
I
and
imagine
stuff.
it's lucrative because,
But
like I said, that
yeah,
obviously it was open bar for a couple of hours, but that brings loads of people in. That'll spend money, spend coin for 4 or 5 hours after the fact. Especially when
yeah,
especially when this music starts and everyone gets loose. And obviously ran out of drink. So that's the thing with the. Not that I run a in character bar, but I imagine the important thing is to get rid of all your stock Saturday night because no one's gonna be drinking it Sunday really. Uh,
yeah,
you
and
don't want
it's
to take it
like
home.
yeah, exactly. The more stuff you got left, the more stuff you've got to actually like transport home.
Mm.
So yeah. So that was that was the rest of our Saturday, and we end up heading up to bed, and we had a few hours sleep,
A few hours
ready to
sleep.
monster.
Yeah, went to Monster. One thing, just before you wrap up on that, one thing
Yeah.
I did like about, I felt like it was definitely needed a night in a tavern because the past few events we haven't had much chance to just kind of do the tavern stuff, because we've been like running around. At E1, we didn't get a chance to just kind of sit and have a chat in a tavern. It was really cool because everyone at some point was coming to us, like in Wise Guys, so everyone was like telling us what they've been up to, like people, trying to talk to cursed axes, or people, finding out about traitors, people
Yeah.
doing whispers, or having to, or narrowly avoiding being executed. We got all the stories, which was a real cool. It's what you want to do in a fantasy setting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, the next day we were monstering. We actually did manage to monster because last event E1 we didn't actually monster, did we? Because it was terrible weather, so we actually got to wear our Grendel kit this time.
Yeah, like we got to actually do like the Grendel kit and everything this time, which was quite good. So I had gotten us some like basically this was the joke before the event is I made us these Grendel bandanas with like dreadlocks and everything on them all ready to go. And then I saw the stuff that came out and I was like, there's no way we're going to be monstering Grendel, not a chance. And then we ended up monstering Grendel. So um brought everything, and we had a little group of us that we all went out and we had a lot of fun.
No, I had the most fun monstering this time than I think I've ever had, actually.
Yes, yeah,
It helped that we had like a group of us, and Pedia very like. I remember the first year we went to Empire. They were very much like, right, okay, I'm going to split you into here. Like, if you're heavy armor over here, if you're this, that, the other. Now they literally just want people to be in their friend groups. You know what I mean? They're just like,
yeah,
people just go, oh yeah, just stick with your friends. We don't care. Which is way better, because it's just way more fun. Because if people are having more fun monstering, it's gonna be better for the play for the Imperials. So we were the Borts, which is I think it's a legacy of well, I know it's a legacy of Mark's old group in Wintermark. So I don't know when those guys were doing videos. I don't know if anyone who's watched those videos or watching this one. I think they have talked about uh, the bought stuff. So we were then we had Mark and someone from his old Wintermark group with us as well, monstering because we were monstering Wintermark. So we continue the legacy of the Borts apparently.
I
Um,
was shiny Bort.
yeah,
because I had bright golden shiny things on my arms.
And we had the masks on as well, so and this was the only good day of the event. Really, it was the only nice day because it was actually we had sunshine for a change, an Empire event. Who'd have thought it? So it was actually a half decent day. We were wearing the orc masks, and the funny thing is, right? So we were in, this was Madruga, right? So currently in Madruga, it was a Brass Coast territory. I still don't know whether it is. I don't know whether we got it. I have no idea. I'm pretty sure it's not. It's not anyone's territory currently.
Don't think so, no.
No. So the Grendel invaded, and now we have three factions kind of going at it in Madruga. We have the Imperials, we have the Grendel merchant princes, and we have this Siakha cult in there as well. So Siakha is, people might remember, we had some dealings with Siakha like last year. Before Godric and Aranel died, there was some Siakha nonsense going on. So Siakha is a spring eternal, and the heralds of Siakha are like the shark people that we've talked about before. So it's all very sharky type thing. So
it was like they literally gave us like this sort of thing open that you can be like, like a normal Grendel, and you are you follow like the ways you always have, or you can be a worshipper of Siakha. And our entire group just went,
well, no one.
All hail Siakha.
No one did. Yeah, they gave everyone in monstering. Everyone who's monstering. They were like, you can be a trained soldier, or you can be a Siakha cultist, a crazy cultist. And everybody who was monstering went Siakha. I don't think anyone was just like, we want to be the other Grendel.
There was a lot of Baby Shark being sung. It was fun on the monster side.
Not as much as I thought it was going to be, because I think someone started it, and I was like, oh, let's not do that. Let's not do this. But yeah, we've alluded to something. We had the land sharks. They brought the land shark out. So
it's so cute.
Yeah. So it's basically the land shark. It's the Fizzer for it is it's just a big like wagon, isn't it? Like it's dressed up on wheels that they push forward. It's pretty big. It's the size of a wagon basically. I think there's a picture of like orcs riding it, isn't there? There's a well-known picture on the wiki and that of orcs riding. There was no one riding it this time, so I don't know, for health and safety, I don't know what. Thing is,
it's one of my goals is to ride a land shark.
Ride a land shark
as Nymeria.
Yeah, there was some hilarity as well when we were like, we were G'd up to play these cultists, and we were like, oh yeah, we could. We were basically like, right, are we gonna like, we kind of want to sacrifice people to the land shark, and then we had the Siakha heralds, we had the shark people there as well, and we were like, oh, and we were just as they came on, like we were like, everyone was like bowing down to them and praying to them, and it was really cool. It was just really fun. It was really fun.
A lot of silly role play based on the monster side. Everyone was just doing silly role play.
But like it made sense. The role play made sense. Yes, it was silly, but it wasn't like the Marcher bullshit that doesn't make sense at all. It was the
like we were like sacrificing ourselves to the Siakha heralds.
Well, I know.
Which didn't make any sense. We were just like, eat us.
No, I know Mark did it right at the end. Right at the end, Mark was just like, eat me, and they like the herald just sacrificed himself to the heralds, and they just ate him. So Siakha heralds, quite scary to fight, because do not go down in front of them.
Quite scary to fight, aren't they?
Yeah.
Could you imagine facing one by yourself?
Yeah, but it was cool
in
to
a
have
tent.
Yeah, but you had a unit of them. We had a unit of them, and the thing, right? So, to our friends, we were in that. So from
we were.
The Imperials' perspective, when you went through, if you were on the right hand side of that field, and there was a lot of deaths, that was we were over there. we were the ones with the Siakha heralds behind us. Our unit, they were like right behind us. And we had the land shark coming in from our right, if you like. It was brutal. It was brutal. So like the tactics we went through, unfortunately worked very well. So our tactics were to basically just hit you really hard and use all of our hero points straight away. So basically, charge you, use all our cleaves and strike downs, and then rotate out, and then walk over the top of you. And unfortunately, it worked quite well on that first push. Yeah,
It did.
it was rough for
I
the
was
Imperials.
really surprised to see how many people found themselves right up at with the Siakha Heralds. I was surprised. I was like, oh, they're not coming back. There's no way you can possibly come back from that. Like
No.
that's it.
No. So, the thing is, I don't think the Imperials even saw that either they weren't like briefed in like being like, oh, by the way, don't be going down near those shark heralds, or they just, because they were behind it, they were pretty well hidden. I gotta admit, like, it wouldn't be obvious because we were quite a deep block of like Grendel, or deep block of orcs, you know, and yeah, by the time they hit us and we pushed over the top of them, by the time they were going down, yeah, they were basically, because the thing is, we're told not to execute, but
Nah.
the shark heralds, yeah,
they go for it.
if you were down in front of them, you're getting eaten.
Yeah, because
yeah.
we were like doing like a lot of role play, like, you know, like, oh yes, come closer so they can eat you, and we were doing like all that sort of
we were
role
being
play.
nasty, yeah. We
were
had
being
remorse.
nasty.
We
were like, come feed her,
yeah.
and we were doing all this like out of character. I'm like, going to fucking eat you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was good fun because basically it was the League and Brass Coast that were on that side with us, and we were, yeah. But yeah, no, I was giving the Brass Coasters some like real shit, like, because we were like, just taunting them, just the fact that I was just like, yeah, I'm living in your house, I'm living in Surrock. It's lovely, where I'm like, where's your coast now?
And we were like, the waves are lovely this time of year, aren't they?
yeah, it was rough. Oh yeah, the Apulians as well. I saw like the two Apulian orcs straight away. I was giving them shit, like traitors, and they were like, "You're the traitors." Just, yeah. But they were having a rough, like that especially that leaguish side on that against the trees, basically where the fence was. And there's little spots of trees up on that. If you're coming out the Sentinel Gate on the right hand side, yeah, they were getting a rough time then. But so then by the time the land shot didn't last very long because it basically just got pushed in out behind us and then rolled right into where the Brass Coast was, and the League, and it didn't last that long. But yeah, it was. I saw a few Brass Coasters and Leaguers go down, and I felt really bad.
I kind of left that area.
Well, when they started pushing us, we had to leave anyway because they eventually rolled us, So
yeah,
we were like,
and we ran, and yeah, I think then we end up back inside the woods, and then I died because so if I need to find out who this person is because this was quite funny. It's funny now. My chainmail got stuck on someone else's chainmail. Like we were back to back, stuck together. And I think if you hadn't been there to like undo it, like we were properly stuck.
Oh, I had to do ref job of like basically go right. Even when you say "oh stop" to people, they still whack the hell out of you. I'm like I'm trying to undo your chainmail. It's quite. I'm like, oh, stop, hang on, but they're still like whack round. God's sake, right? Okay, yeah. You're just like, I'm not taking any of these hits. So just undo you because it was basically you just couldn't move away from each other, so you were literally attached to each other.
I mean, if we coordinated it, we could have been like a really cool fighting force. But I mean, if we went down, that would have been pretty bad.
No, it was definitely dangerous.
Okay,
yeah. So so you died after. I didn't die the entire fight.
So I did after that because literally I got untangled, turned around, and then I was just like covered straight away down. I was like, okay, I'm gone, everyone. So yeah, this is the point we just didn't see each other for the rest of the battle then because we had two totally different experiences here for the rest of it, didn't we?
Yeah. You know what I like about the Orc Mass is the anonymity. I know that sounds really, really cheeky and evil, but it's quite fun because you can see people that you want to like role play with, and they don't know it's you, so you can like give them some real shit, and then be like, oh, I'm gonna find them afterwards and say, hey, by the way, that interaction we had, yeah, my fight Uh, so I have a one-handed spear now because I bought a one-handed spear. We're actually just back from a Greek mythology LARP called
Yeah.
Asphodel, so I wanted a spear for that. And I thought, you know what, we're monstering as Grendel this year. I'm going to a Greek LARP. I'm going to invest in a spear. So I got a one-handed spear from Saxon Violence, which is a great name for a LARP, a LARP company. I got my spear. I tell you what, stab safe weapons, especially spears, or especially like pole arms if you like. So fun to fight with. They're so much better than swords. They are. They really are. Like I wish they were a little bit more like Dornish, but they are so fun because again like sword obviously they're not stab safe, but the spears just like keeping people away from you, and it's so much easier to cleave people in the chest or in the torso because obviously like if you call cleave on the torso and they're not wearing armor, then they go down to 0. But to get hit off safely on someone's chest can sometimes be a little bit difficult with a
Yeah, it's
sword,
hard.
because you have to basically like do this, and if you get the tip and then you're moving forward, you sometimes accidentally stab them, and then they can kind of go up into their face and their eye. You got to be really careful. But the stab safe spear, you're just like just go straight for the chest, especially if they're a squishy. It's so fun.
Oh no.
And you can also deter people just by like putting it sort of at their like face level, So you're just like, come on. If you just stood there, you're just like, come on then. Come on.
Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go?
Yeah. That was so fun. But my battle was basically standing in a line because the Imperials weren't doing that great. Really, they were struggling quite a bit. Every time they made some ground, they were being pushed back, and then they made some ground again, then they were pushed back twice as much. And the Imperials will probably hate to hear this, but at one point, there was a line. You were about 10 paces away from the ritual being done, and it wasn't
Yeah.
protected. So. But the thing is, like the ritual. I know people listening won't be able to see my hands, but the ritual was like tucked behind these trees. The line wasn't in front of the ritual. The line was like perpendicular to it. So if the Imperials had just turned to their right and just started moving through it, you would have just been able to slaughter all the ritualists, But the fact that the Imperials could see was the line. The line wasn't protecting the ritualists at all, for a good while as well. That was the moment with the crabs came out. I don't know where you were at that point, but yeah.
Right. So
yeah, go on.
I joined a little skirmish group. So I basically I was in the respawn line and I clocked a couple of friends up ahead. I was like, I was going to run up to them. So I joined them. They're like, yeah, we're going to go do a skirmish group. So I need to know who it was who was playing the Grendel with the big golden helmet on because you were awesome. So this person was like in charge of our little skirmish group. And I think this is my first experience of actual skirmishing, if that makes sense. We went out into the woods, like I said, about 5 of us. And while we were out in the woods, we found all these little like secret pathways and everything. And we ended up like scouting out the whole area. So we knew all the little pathways through these bushes and everything. And we're like, right, our aim is just to pull the Imperials apart from one another, make them think that there's a lot of us back here, but only 5 of us. And this is never going to work. We saw the Crimson Reapers and we all went, let's screw with them. So the 5 of us, I'm so sorry. The 5 of us split up to the trees and literally we were doing this sort of thing. We were like behind a tree and then we're standing out and all the Reapers and like all of Rushka stood to face us. And then we just went to like dive through these little tiny pathways. And then we'd appear on the other side of them. And then we managed to like split them all off in different groups. Now we did this quite a lot. It was fun. And we just kept doing it again and again and again. And we managed to thin out the entire Imperial line. Now they had to get these eggs. I'm really sorry. Because all the eggs are right behind us. There was not many of us.
Yeah.
And it came to the last bit, and I was like, we're going to die here. This is it. There's 5 of us here. There's a few more of us around there, and the eggs are there. And it seems like all the Imperials are in front of us. We're like, we're going to die. We're going to die. They're going to run us down. Okay, let's just do one last little fun bit of play. And we ran at them and did a couple of hits. And they all left. And we stood there. We're like, we're alive. They're going away. And then as he left, all of our like cultists with the eggs walked behind us holding the eggs up in the air as we all celebrated that our Krakens are going to be there once more. And I was like, oh my God, how? And it wasn't until we were walking back and I was like, oh, that didn't go well for us, really. That did not go well for the Empire,
well, I think there was little moments like that. Yeah, like the ritual was literally going off and they had no idea that it was literally right there. They could have literally just walked forward and taken it. There was just a lot of kind of stalling from the Empire. I think that just their momentum and their morale was quite low, and every time we had a little victory, like you said, we were getting really G'd up, and Siakha, and then we just, we were throwing the monsters out at them. Again, there was lots of times where I think it got in the Imperial's head. This is just my opinion. I think it got in the Imperial's head because there was time, like, again, that part where they could have just steamrolled us. That we were so outnumbered.
It needed
so many
one
times.
Good steamroll, we would have been done.
Yeah,
because our Siakha heralds spent a lot of the fight chilling out behind us. Like they weren't out for most of the fight. They were out at the start. And they were out for a little bit at the end, but a good chunk of the fight, they weren't out.
And they let themselves, just from what I saw, so especially because where I was fighting mostly the League, Brass Coast, and Varushka, I didn't see much of Wintermark until a bit later because I think they stayed out on the field quite a lot until the end. I saw a fair bit of them at the end, but those three nations that they were clustering quite a lot. So basically, we had.
Did you say Wintermark?
Did I say Wintermark?
Yeah, you said Wintermark. They weren't out. Navarre, is that what you mean?
Yeah, I think it's whatever. Navarre. So Navarre.
Yeah.
I think they were out in the. I think they were out in the field.
Yeah.
And until like the very end, that's when I saw them. But yeah, so like League, Varushka, Brass Coast, they were clustering quite a lot. So there was times where there was nothing behind us. There was like literally, half of their numbers, but we were just spread out and we just had a bit more presence. I don't know what was going on. Like there was the Varushkan block was about 50 deep, and that they could have just come straight at us and we wouldn't have been able to stop it, but they kind of stopped and stalled, and we just kind of were just stabbing them in the face as they were coming through the woods, and everyone just seemed to stop. It's a lot easier when you're a monster and you have infinite lives, basically. It's a lot easier to be confident. When you're at the front and you're like, oh, I don't want my character to die, it's difficult to be like, right, I'm just going to push, and go. But yeah, it was rough. Oh, I probably better address this because a couple of people have said it. Someone like commented the other day actually on one of our on YouTube. Apparently, so people were having their heads that there was a numbers mismatch. I don't know. That could have been true from the player perspective. So the military council, it's in the rule. That's why we have force weighting. So you're not allowed to have a mismatch. You're not, like, so the idea is, you have to balance the numbers, right? So there was no muck up there in military council. The other reason there could be a numbers mismatch is if people didn't show up to Monster, or if people didn't show up to fight in their nation for any reason. Usually, that happens on the Sunday because people are more likely to be hungover on the Sunday, or they want to go home early on the Sunday. So yeah, people had the impression there was less monsters on the Saturday and more on the Sunday. That could have been the case. Basically, I imagine at some point, if that is the case, PD usually kind of tell us off collectively because they've done that before and be like, "Hey,
they know how." They basically, what they've done is when you're heading through to Monster and you tell them your nation, they have a tally. They're literally taking note of who is there, so they'll know if that's happened, and they've been like, right, a huge amount of people didn't bother monstering on the Saturday or didn't bother monstering on the Sunday. They will tell us off for that, and they will make a post. They are quite open about it. So,
which again, like, so I mean, it could be. So that would actually mean that obviously the nations that weren't which there are more nations that were monstering on the Saturday if they didn't turn up. But they will say the other reason it could have felt like a mismatch. There's another couple of reasons. One of them is that it was just a harder scenario.
Yeah.
And when I say a harder scenario, that could have been a military council cock up because they maybe sent the wrong nations on the wrong days, like using so. And then the other reason could be a power level thing, because again, we don't know what the force weightings actually mean. It doesn't mean like you have to figure out what it means. So that there could be like a power level thing, right? Not saying that, oh yeah, Dawn has a higher power level than Navarre or this the other, but it might sort of be that basically. So if you have, because we did on the Saturday, we had 3 large and hard-hitting nations,
Yeah.
and a small hard-hitting nation, right? So the fact that we, wiped out, very quickly the threat on Saturday, and they had a hard time pushing on Sunday, could have been the power level balance. I'm not saying, because I know that these smaller nations are efficient, but maybe the combination wasn't right, and that's what made it feels like a mismatch.
Think, like, if you think about it, a larger nation, you're guaranteeing a lot of people who know how to fight together in that nation. Doesn't matter if we don't fight well with another nation, but because we can fight well together as a nation, it's fine. But if you've just got smaller nations, you've got more people that maybe don't fight with these other nations as often, or this was a weird one. This was a weird matching. Like how often do you how having Wintermark marches Dawn and the orcs together? That's not a common thing that happens. And last time that happened, that went really bad. So it's not a common thing that actually happened. So that was a bit different. I mean, I'm happy with how everything went, but I wanted to fight on the Sunday, and I think a lot of Donish wanted to do that battle on the Sunday. And still, I wish I'd been able to do that battle, because that was like a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. We all love our own nations. So it's no surprise that I will say I think Dawn would have made a big difference on that Sunday.
I think so.
Yeah, but
it needed something. It needed something just to push and roll right through them.
Yeah,
that's what it needed.
We were probably the ones to throw at those heralds, basically, because like we were the type of ones that probably could have stepped over them.
We could have stopped them doing it to us, because what we were doing as monsters was, the tactics was, like you said, was to push through, use everything, and roll right over the top of you, which is what Dawn kind of does anyway. So it was like, oh, who knows? Okay, I feel like
who knows? Maybe we'll get a chance to prove that this coming summit if we're fighting.
I do want to fight a land shark.
I don't know if we'll be fighting the Siakha stuff. Might be kind of not a thing.
Or a little war rhino.
War rhinos. I think it's the Thule that have the war rhinos. We're not at war with the Thule currently, so I don't I don't think that's going to happen
currently.
Well, unless PD have like some cool, more kind of some monsters they want to throw at us. One thing I do want to bring up, I don't want to speak out of turn, but I was speaking to someone from the ref team at the weekend, and there is they were saying that because I noticed there was a lot of man down calls, like a lot.
Yes, there was a lot,
but not like serious injuries, if you know what I mean. I'm not saying anybody's been like faking injuries, but it was interesting to hear someone from the ref team say that the players have it in their head that if you do it if you have to have like a timeout or a man down, and you have to be taken off the field because of an injury, an out of character injury, then you lose your character. Apparently that is not the case, right? No. So because I know that almost got you into trouble last year. Was it last year, the year before? You were literally like concussed, and you were like, I don't want to leave, because you were scared of losing your character.
The ref literally sat in front of me and went, your character will be safe. I literally point to you and your character will be safe. Yeah. This is a real injury, and it was like that kind of, but yeah, like a lot of people do have it in their heads, like, oh no, I can't leave, because then I'll lose my character.
Yeah. So apparently that's not a thing. So I know, because I've heard stories as well that like people have like had an out character injury, and then they've been like, oh well, you never went back for Sentinel Gate, so your parrot's dead, like type thing.
Yeah, I heard that
Yeah.
story with somebody like breaking their ankle or something, and they couldn't get through the gate, so their character died. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize like that.
Yeah.
I heard that as well, like quite early on.
Yeah, so apparently that's not a thing. Maybe used to be a thing, but from what I heard at the weekend, it's not a thing anymore. So
Look after your health, everyone.
yeah, look after your health. But a fun battle, if not a great one for the Imperials. But yeah, it was quite somber. Like there was a lot of drama in the military council after. Is there anything else you want to say about the battle before we move on?
Nah.
So yeah, there was a lot of drama in the military council after, obviously, because yeah, a lot of people were lost. A lot of people died, and we had such success the day before. It kind of that kind of sucked. In military council, yeah, the Imperials didn't. I think they managed to get one out of all the objectives.
Yeah, they got one.
I think did they have to save some. I think they had to save someone.
No, I don't think they got that one.
No,
they got one, but I just don't remember which one it was. I don't think they saved the person.
Yeah, I think they had to kill someone. They had to save someone. They had to get eggs, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they killed the one that they had to kill. Somebody can correct in the comments because I think that, but I know they got one out of the objectives.
Yeah, and they didn't sell the ritual, so
no,
it was. It was rough. It was rough. So what else do we need to cover after all that?
Yeah, so after that we ended up in military council, and pretty much for the rest of it, we end up in military council. We got to role play out a lot of the drama after the fact. Like, obviously we've got friends in those nations, so we got a lot of their sort of side of it after all the drama that came from that, which was really wonderful to sort of role play through and everything.
I know
there was some.
Sorry, just jump in while you're saying that. I know the Bros has lost a few, and it just reminded me there.
Yeah, what I was going to say.
Yeah, the Bros has lost a few, but I remember I was stood across from them quite a lot when I was monstering. They're pole arms. Like I don't know how long those pole arms are. They're about 7 foot or something. They're just like you can't get anywhere near them. They're just like as soon as you thought like, no, I'm safe here. Whack. Oh, damn it. It's just like let's all stand because they were whacking us constantly. They were like, let's all stand out of the range of the pole arms until we're ready to move forward, shall we? Let's not stand in range.
Let's get a piece of chalk, okay? Right, draw a line. Nope, not here, but more back.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the line, everyone. Chalk line.
Yeah, they had long pole arms that they had. Yeah, it's funny. Sorry, I just thought I'd mention that.
Yeah. So there was a lot of like juicy stuff happening in military council. There was a lot of like marcher things that were happening in military council this time, which was quite fun. But I think that is something that is definitely needs to be left on the field. Kind of all linked to the Fisher plot line. So definitely go and chat about that because you'll get some pretty interesting stories at the minute after a few things were revealed. Yeah, but I think that took us pretty much.
It did. Yeah. I do want to obviously, but that's March's step. Obviously, we've got more relevant things to us as well going on. Literally, the absolute kind of shitstorm that's going on in the Barrens right now. So currently in the Barrens, it's still ongoing. So we've taken people who don't go to Empire, might remember, and listen to the podcast. Remember, we took the Barons for Dawn last year, exactly a year ago, actually. We appointed a senator for the Barons, and now the Barons is still full of orc seps that aren't part of the Empire. So we are currently trying to figure out who's an ally, who wants to be part of the Empire. None of them. Who wants to be part of the Empire, who wants to be classed as a foreigner, and who's classed as a barbarian. So basically, the way the Empire works, if you're classed as a barbarian, then we are at war with you and we want to kill you. If you're a foreigner, you're not part of the Empire, but we still, I guess, supposed to treat you civilly. I don't really get it. Daemon doesn't get it, but whatever. So has to be a lot of people who are into this game. There's lots of treaties going on, so we have to figure out what type of if you're going to exist within the Empire and you're not part of the Empire, we have to figure it all out. So one of the orc seps, the Robyn, are currently kind of sitting on a mithril mine and things like that. So they're in their area, and we're trying to figure out, do we make peace with them? Do we declare them barbarians and kill them? The complication is we've got another orc sept called the Black Wind, which there's a long convoluted history going on here, but basically, if you remember the Druge, they had joined the Druge. Now that we have the Barons and the Druge on the losing side, they have a habit. They have a very. I'm trying not to put my own in character opinion here. They like to switch to the winning side. It seems, So currently, we're on the winning side in the Barons. We were quite mean to them last season. Like the I don't think the Iron Helms have been like hunting them down. So have the Golden Sun, sort of. But yeah, we've been, we just, we're just there. The Dornish are just kind of there. So we're trying to figure out that the Ravin want the Black Wind to join them, but we're like, but they were literally with the Druge not two minutes ago, basically. So we're trying to figure all that out. So there's a lot of drama going on there. There was a veto by the Empress. So I think that's it. I imagine that's the Empress's first veto as well. I'm not going to go into the details. Anyone going to Empire, you can go and ask about it. So what happened? So basically, if there's a decision made by the Senate or the Military Council or any of the other establishments, I think Vesna gets the opportunity to do a veto, which means like, nope, I'm going to overturn that decision. So there was a veto, which caused some real like what at the end of the event. So that was it. That was the end, right?
Yeah, no, that was it. Actually, I think that was everything. And after that, we sort of like got ourselves all sorted out. We got pack down was fine this time. Actually, like it was fine. We got sorted pretty quickly. Actually, I think this time, quicker than normal.
We did. It was just unfortunate. Our tent was flooded, so our tent was still wet when we put it down. Again. But we got out of there. Yeah, we got out of there.
Yeah, we got all sorted, and yeah, that was awesome. I think after that, okay, yeah. So the mentioned it earlier, but we have got our 100th episode coming up, and our 100th episode, we're going to do a Q&A sort of thing. We've done a few of them in the past. I know people really enjoy sending things in, so we're going to get that set up on all of our social media so that you can send in any questions and things. But we're also going to do a giveaway as well for a Empire ticket. So I'll put all the details on to pretty much every form of social media I can think of, so that everyone's got an opportunity to enter, to send things in, and then we'll go ahead and get that one out to you next after this one. So yeah, that will be before E3.
Yeah. So 100 episodes. We'll probably do a little discussion on like highlights from 100 episodes. I can't believe we've been doing it for 100 episodes. So almost episode 99. So I guess we'll wrap up from there. So yeah, thank you very much for stopping by, everybody. If you enjoyed our recap of Empire LARP E2, make sure that you like, follow, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Tell us what you got up to at E3. Are you excited for E4? Are you doing any other LARPs? I mean, we have listeners from across seas as well. So I'm always so interested to hear about people's kind of LARPs in other countries as well. I would love to get someone on, actually, or a few people on from these different places to kind of on the podcast to talk about their like big LARPs, because like people go to these big LARPs in America, in Australia, in Europe, Germany and things like that, have these huge LARPs. So yeah, say hello from wherever you're from. If you're listening on an audio platform, give us a 5-star review. It's just so people can find the content easier. Basically, we also have a Patreon if you want to go check that out. There's no content over there currently, really. It's like $3. It's just a tip. It's like $1 per episode. We usually release an average about 3 episodes per month. So if you're into that, go check that out. And with that all said and done, we'll say we love you very much and stay safe. See you later, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.